let's talk a little bit about GoBundance. I had Daniel on the show. He'll be one episode before you. So listeners will be a little bit aware of if you listen to the episode before this. But let's talk a little bit about 728. In your own words, maybe can you describe what that is and like how that came to be?
So 728 was kind of an accident, that how it happened. And what 728 is, it is the journey of an entrepreneur or business owner from $1 million in net worth to $10 million in net worth. And we've interviewed people 100 million and billionaires. We've interviewed a couple. But what we really wanted to focus on was that first grind part of the journey, because a lot of people start experiencing success and then they are surrounded by people who are successful, or they find some other people that are successful and they fall into that shiny object syndrome. And what we found through this interview that I've just really found fascinating is that not almost to a person, every single person that we've interviewed now, and there's a lot of people that we've interviewed, actually stayed an inch wide and a mile deep for a long period of time, created mastery. And then once they had mastery, then they had the skills to be able to start playing other games, because they were able to take that mastery piece that they had, continue to do what they were doing and continue to build wealth. But then they were able to start building other legs to their business or other legs to their wealth building journey. I know that's true for myself and for a lot of people out there. When you start, and I'll just use numbers, because what we found is these are kind of the numbers. From $1 million to about $4.5 million is just dirty. It is work. It is grind. It's going out of balance and being in a place where it is just not fun. And then what kind of happens is there comes a day where you start getting the momentum of money. And all of a sudden you wake up and an opportunity that presents itself that you would never have been able to do a year or 2 years before. You're like, I could come up with that money. And you're able to start having your money work for you. And the challenge that I think that a lot of people run into is they get out of sequence just a little bit, and they think that they can shorten that grind. And the reality is that grind is what gives you earn the right to be successful, and you earn the right to be wealthy. In our world, nothing is given, everything is earned. And if you understand that, and you're in that messy middle, or you're in that grind section, and you see that hockey stick that we see on the net worth, because everybody's really transparent with their finances on this show. And it always goes like this, and then you see this, and then it just goes like this. And so the purpose of the show really is to help people understand that being in this spot right here is okay, and that there is, if you stay consistent with your skills, your activities, your relationships, that there is that hockey stick at the end. Everybody just wants it to go like that. And that's just not how it works.
Yeah. And if you're listening and not watching, Aaron's describing sort of this flat exponential curve, right? So like staying in this flat zone is tough, because what you want is that, what we're calling the hockey stick, basically the exponential drive where it starts shooting up. And it's extremely interesting to look at those graphs of 728. Because again, people are being very, very open with their finances, and you watch, it's like, sometimes 3, 4, 5, 10 years even, where it's fairly level. It's growing a little, and then boom, it just takes off. And that's what's so cool to see over and over and over. But I love how you guys hammer the point of it's a grind. There wasn't just someone, not that I'm aware, I don't think you guys have ever interviewed someone who won the lottery, right? It's like, it doesn't happen no one's going to win the lottery that I know. It's just not a reality, right? It's like, you have to earn it. And that's what's so valuable about the show is, yes, these people you're interviewing have a net worth $10+ million, but they've just hammered the one mastery thing, or maybe two, right? But it's just such a valuable lesson. So, I know a lot of people get a lot out of the show. I personally get a lot. So I love to talk about it.
Yeah, no, it's been really good. And it kind of came about, Daniel was actually, him and I are really good friends, and we're in the same little group basically in GoBundance, where we talk every Saturday. And it was at the beginning of the pandemic, so 2020. And we actually did kind of a 728 show with Daniel, and he opened up all his finances, and we kind of went through his journey, and we realized that that's just something that most people don't talk about. You see the Grant Cardones, you see the Gary V's, you see all of these people that are talking about 10X and how successful they are and all that, and they never talk about the suck. And the suck is where the value is, because that's where the lessons are learned, that's where the perspective is gained, and that's where you learn to recognize the opportunities that show up later on down the road. So it kind of happened by accident. And then Daniel, if you haven't haven't listened to his interview, is one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life. And so you should definitely go back and listen to it. I haven't even heard it yet, but I know it's good because he is just a rock star.
Yeah, it is good. I mean, and just like this one, I mean, I know this will be a fantastic episode. Lots to gain from it. But yeah, I mean, I just appreciate what you guys do.